How's it going, everybody? Tim with ENT Collectibles, and I'm here with.
Isaac Parker, aka your favorite duelist.
All
Let's
right.
begin. This is my top 8 deck list from the South Park Regional. I played Branded Dracotail or Dracotail Branded, however you want to call it. Doesn't matter, same result. All right, let's begin. So for this deck, it relies not super heavily, but it relies heavily on parts of the Dracotail package, of course. You do 3 of this lady. Key thing to note here: if you activate this, you're locked into fusions on resolution. Oh, successful resolution, that is. So you do want to hit this after you've done all your other plays and then use this. Of course, the one of, which I hate it is at 1, but I do understand it. It is a pretty busted card. So definitely should be at 1. Play these 2 traps in the main. I do have the 3rd in the side. But for the main deck, this is unavoidable. You just can't go without this. Sting, I do appreciate getting 2 out of the graveyard versus 1 off the field. So I do like that I can get a spell and a monster out of the graveyard, especially in a mirror match or in like branded match or even in matches that rely so heavily on the graveyard. For example, MST, Radiant Typhoon, get that 1 out the graveyard and force them to do a normal summon rather than a special. The required one of, if you're playing the branded version, this card came up very subtly. I was able to get it on the field, instantly get it off the field by getting something else out the graveyard and summoning it and going in rotation. This guy, believe it or not, won me my game 1 against Kutoons. I had 800 life points left. They were at 4K. They were at 8K still. Top deck this, normaled it, and fusion summoned the pan out of hand because the pan was a dead brick and they had no response to it. And we just went full circle, full force from there. But this guy, really great. I think it's the 2nd best normal summon in the deck, if you ask me. You normal summon it, quick effective fusion summon. So even if they, for some odd reason, decide to imperm it on your turn, you just say, cool, you hold it to their turn, quick effective fusion summon anyway. So it's a really cool trap card. It's a really cool card that they hit it. It's a waste of their time. 3, Lucaeus, a really great card. I wouldn't say really great card, I exaggerated. It's a good card. It's a normal summon that just searches you any monster of your engine, but you're only searching 1 card anyway, so it doesn't make much of a difference. You know how this route goes. If it gets imperm or if it gets hit, then you're kind of stuck unless you have an extender in hand. But yeah, this is your normal summon. The best card in the deck by far. This card should definitely be hit at some point in the future. It does a lot. The quick dump to fusion summon out of hand, well, field in hand, as well as its own effect that all Dracotails have. Really great card. Something you definitely want in your hand during your turn, during your opponent's turn. Played this at 2 specifically for the spell trap pop, as well as the set, as well as its other effect to place back in the grave, place back bottom of the deck to add this to hand. Yeah, I think these 2 combo, like getting this in rotation in the graveyard as soon as possible with this in hand or grave, goes far. Very often, when you get your boy on field, when you get this guy on field, they're gonna stop him. So you want to get this in the graveyard as soon as possible, so that way, even if he does get stopped, you get this in hand. The one of, it is a brick, but it is a really good pop for monsters, especially if you're playing a mirror and they definitely get Secretarian in rotation. You're kind of trapped until you get this in rotation. So getting this in the graveyard or getting this in the graveyard is really good. Their graveyard effects are wild, which is why I decided to go with this deck in the first place, because I don't have to worry about a lot of on-field effects. I could just fusion summon and get a lot of things happening out the graveyard and going around, which is why Fisher against this deck is a problem. But we'll get there when we get there. And then for the second half of this deck, the branded package, of course you run 2 of these. Again, Fissure being an issue for this, you can't activate this on the Fissure or any banishing effect because the cost is the card busted the graveyard. But it's a really good start to your engine. You dump any of the dragons off, you get your branded fusion out the end phase, or you get any of your other brand, or you get a 2nd copy of itself. Really good card to use, not under Fissure, into Radiant Typhoon's trap card, or popping your own monsters to avoid like targeting the gates, or popping your own cards. In my game 2, I believe I activated evenly, and they tried to do a target negate, because I was playing Cool Tunes. Evenly tried to target the gate. I hit this, popped the evenly, got it off the field, and it resolved. So it was a really cool thing to use.
You ever use the effect to special summon?
I have used it, but it didn't come up enough to where it mattered.
Okay.
The special summon effect is really good in the branded matchup because they have the Ecclesia in the graveyard. They have stuff that happens for you, but in the normal matchup, it doesn't matter much of a difference. Branded Fusion, great card. The turn you activate this card, you cannot do any other extra deck summon mechanic but Fusion Summon. So if you hit this first, you can't do anything else but Fusion Summon. If you Synchro Summon earlier, you can't activate this card. So it's all or nothing. But it is a great all or nothing choice to send this out into the graveyard to get your Dracotails in rotation. Or if you're going against Lunalight, you send this in your Albaz, or any of these two in your Albaz, and you get a monster that's big enough to beat over their monster that's unaffected by the pop that Lunalight would do. The one of, incredible for this deck. She's pretty much an honorary member of this deck. She gets on the field. She's She's pretty much these two cards in one. Quick effect Poly. Adds herself back to hand if a fusion went to the graveyard that turn. Special summon herself if there's an Albaz on the field or graveyard. She's incredible. She should have been an Incredible Ecclesia, honestly. Incredible Ecclesia, which is good, just not as good as this guy. At least for this deck. Special summon her if your opponent has more cards or more monsters, to be more specific. And then you just take her off to get into any of the Albaz monsters. She's also a tuner, so you can use her to get into her extra deck version. Yeah, so these two put in a lot of work for me. One Fallen Albaz. These two are the best normal summons in this deck. This is the scariest normal summon in this deck. And because you get this on the field against your opponent, especially with this card now in the game, that's 2 bodies for free. And it becomes a body that's now unaffected by other card effects if you have this in the graveyard or any of the Ecclesias. So it's a real problem now. Before you would go into Mara Jade is a nice to have at this point. This does everything you need to do. Of course, 2 White Jesus. He's everything. Yeah, anything a Branded player ever thought of, this guy does. He special summons himself. He gets you into your full Branded package. He special summons her, and then a 1-card level 8 synchro is incredible. A 1-card level 8 synchro that then leads to your full Branded or Dracotail play, depending on what you have in hand, is busted. I expect this card to be hit at some point because it's just too good. It does everything you want it to do. It's practically free. There's no drawback to this card outside of, you can't summon above level 8 synchros or fusions, but this is this deck. This does nothing to that. So yeah. Okay, time for the hand trap lineup. I played a lot of hand trap in this deck, so let's get these slid over. So I played 3 Ash. Because it's mandatory, there's no need to explain what Ash is. Ash just does what Ash does. 3 Perulia, only because there's so many decks that summon from the hand this format, you're bound to get draws. You play this against Radiant Typhoon, you're winning. You play this against even the Dracotail Mirror, you're actually winning, because they are going to get this in hand. They're going to normal summon this. They're going to get something out of hand, so you're getting at least 2 draws off this. What other major decks are there? Every major
Yummy.
deck.
It's good against Yummy. Makes
it's
half board.
Oh, absolutely.
Makes them a half board.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, of course, its friend and partner in crime. I got a lot out of this one, but not as much as I got out of this.
This one creates more half boards. This one draws you more cards. That's typically what I tell folks.
Yeah. So, in the matchups, I would, of course, not shotgun this, but hold it until they're going into the extra deck for sure, or something from the deck, and then drop this. And then, of course, at that point, they make the decision on what they want to end on. But this was more of a threat immediately.
Isaac's over here playing, going second turbo.
Yeah. And then, of course, my MVP of the tournament was Nib. For some odd reason, nobody expected anybody to be playing Nib. Everybody just decided we're just going to combo off and just see what my opponent does. Against Cool Tunes, this got me match very easily. They ended up on the board. They summoned 5 times, well, like 8 times, honestly. And then they were about to pass. I just nipped them. Against the White Forest player, got nipped there too. Even against the Draco mirror that I played, somebody got crazy and decided to do a lot of Draco combos. They got nipped as well. This was my MVP. Like this card and the card and evenly. They won me so many matchups. I can honestly tell you I wouldn't have been top 8 without this and evenly. Like in that order specifically. I would nib them, attack into the nib token, clear my board evenly. They have no choice because they can't banish the token face down, so the entire board is gone. I did that with somebody who had Dragoon. They had the White Forest monster on the field that stopped me from targeting cards in the graveyard. And they had some other impressive monster on board. And I just attacked into the token, pop my monster, and evenly.
Trade-ins for games, it's point something.
And then the last 3, Droplet. Droplet goes crazy in this deck. This was my MVP, and this for sure was my second starter. Like, if I were to describe it as a basketball team, this would be the 2014 Miami Heat, and this would be LeBron, and this would be D Wade. And evenly would be Chris Bosh. And that's just how it was. It did everything I needed to do. If things were getting targeted and I did not have this guy in hand, I just did this. I opened one game where I had these 2 and just this starter, and I had it evenly in hand. I entered battle phase called evenly. They tried to negate the evenly. I droplet the monster that was evenly, removed the evenly off the field, and dropped the monster, and they wiped the entire board out. And I normal summon, and they tried to imper me because that's what they kept on field. And I hit this and popped this, and went into full combo anyway. So, oh, that was going second. So when I drew, I had another name in hand, which is why I popped this. If I didn't have another name, I wouldn't have popped that. But yes, because I had another name, I was going to go full combo. So yeah, that's the main deck. The extra deck. This is your branded package. This is your Luna Lights Out, because you can get a body above what their monster is, and it will be unaffected until the end of the turn. That's just your mirror match. In fact, you don't even need the mirror. I've had people end up with this guy on the field and the dragon monster, and I had 0 monsters in hand. I was just like, thank you. I can summon that because I can use it from any side of the field. I did not even need to own Albaz. This is just your dump target. You just dump that to get this in rotation or get Branded Fusion in rotation at the end of the turn. This is for the mirror match or against a branded matchup. It really locks them out. I saw White Forest. This was a problem against White Forest. They could do nothing. This is how you avoid evenly match, but it's also a really good card. It can be targeted, it can be used as fusion material. So the only ways to pop it is to non-target. This is your package to get into more of your rotation here. You get into her, you banish her, and then you get into what card should be Incredible Ecclesia to get into your full Dracotail package. This is more Lunar Light Hate. If a card is banished this turn, this guy I believe gains 2,000 attack. Yeah, 2,000 attack, so he goes up to 45. So what I like to do is I like to bait the Lunar Light and get them into doing something and just wiping the board early, and then I get into him anyway because he's a level 8. So I use White Jesus here to get into him, and at that point I've already had something banished. So I'll use him, get into him, that's 45, just be over the monster. And then if you make the mistake of getting rid of this guy, he says if he leaves the field by your opponent card effect, you just get to summon that guy. So, you pick your poison at that point. This guy is my funny tech for this deck. Actually won me the duel. So in the White Forest matchup, they had a token that was 1,000 attack. And that's very important, keep that in mind. And they have their life point going half, so that we're at 4K. And then they halved it again during my turn, so they're at 2K. So by that point, they halved it using the Fiend Monsters effect. I don't remember it. Half the attack point and then pops a card on your side of the field. They did that during the first turn, and they did that during my turn as well. So by that point, they were left with 1K and a token. They were left with 2K and a token that was 1K in attack. I summoned this at 3K. I just beat into the token and won that duel. So that came in really close. SP, because it's SP. course, the beautiful, I have the overframe copy here, but for the regional, I had the normal version printing of it, Mary Jade, because Mary Jade is just a tough card to deal with. And
It's because you won a tournament today.
yeah, oh, I also won a tournament today with a different deck, not this deck list, different deck. Of course, 2 of. Really great to have on your opponent's turn to bounce cards on their side, but also get things on your side in rotation as well. 1 of, which is a problematic card. Like, this card is good, but this is actually the secret problem with this deck. It pops if you have no... So it's like Thunder Dragon, is it Titan? If you have no response to the activation of your Dracotail cards, you get a pop. It's exactly like that Thunder Dragon Fusion Monster, whose name I don't remember. And then this guy is incredible. A light or dark monster plus another effect. So it doesn't even have to be light or dark. Your opponent just needs a light or dark plus another effect monster, and that's how you get into it. So this cleared a lot of boards for me, and then on summon, it spins back from graveyard or banish. And then if you have her anywhere in the field or graveyard, it goes to 3,500 and is unaffected by all the card effects. So imagine facing a board where you're looking down at this, unaffected, can't be targeted, made properly, which is just protects everything. So it gets really hectic to deal with. So this was my board. Playing this deck, I realized something really quickly. This deck is terrible at going first. It's so bad going first. It was incredible going second, and every duel I won, pretty much won going second. Especially the mirror match. Mirror match is too easy with this deck. Most games I lost game 1 and then sided out and realized, oh, I could just go second. So I threw my opponent second several times and it did not expect it. And so this is a scary deck to go against if you did not expect you to go first. Like, if you have these going second stuff in and you go against this deck, you're losing. And it created like a really good mental situation for my opponents because like they went first and I beat them cleanly, and then we're going to game 3 and now they're thinking, oh, I just lost against this deck going first. Now I have to go first again, potentially, or I might have to go second against this deck. So it becomes a really good mental situation for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So any shout outs?
Oh, for sure. ENT Collectibles for definitely having me, letting me test out. It was actually Tim who suggested I do the 3 droplets. I don't think my original list before heading out, I had droplets in it. I don't remember. I think I had Crown, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you weren't playing droplet. I was like, you gotta play droplets the best.
Yeah, you told me to definitely. Yeah, I had 2 effect veilers.
Yeah.
And a crown. Yeah, you told me to drop the effect veilers.
I told you to put Mario. I told you to put Mario Chambers on the bench for Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, you told me to do that.
Mario Chalmers. What's wrong with me?
Hey, Chalmers is. Yeah. Yeah, you told me to do that, and yeah, good call. Getting this in rotation was a really great call. Was for sure the third best card in the deck, which is wild. Throughout the entire tournament, the best cards in the deck for me were
non-engine.
It was this, and evenly. Those are the 3 best cards in the deck that entire tournament. Those cards individually won me my matchups. Absolutely. And I'll do you guys a favor and do sides real quick. All right. So my side is meant to play against Fissure. It's really Fissure was my problem. It's Fissure and the trap card for Radiant Typhoon. I was not worried about anything else because I knew if I could get things in rotation into the graveyard, I was fine. If I was locked out of the graveyard, that becomes a problem. So the boy everybody loves to see, Pink. Pink is incredible because he just summons himself. He's a 2,600 body, so he's a big boy. And he can just quick effect, get himself off the field. So is it a quick effect? Let me make sure I wasn't cheating nobody. It is a quick effect. Cool. Yeah, it is a quick effect. So I run 2 Pink. So Fissure's on the field. You get this on the field. You attack. They decide to droplet. They droplet the Pink or droplet something else. Sure, that's fine. But they have to answer Pink immediately, or else they're gonna lose something off the field along with this big body. And then to complement him, his brother in crime, Fenrir. Yeah, Pink and Fenrir are pretty much the same. They're the same card, except one tributes itself for cost of pop, and one just banishes on attack deck or monster effect resolution. So these 2 are the same card. They're to serve the same exact purpose, just to banish things, bounce things off the field. And then, yeah, this card just won me so much going for second. We all know what Evenly does. This was to stop Cool Tunes. This was just specifically for them. That was just my Cool Tune hit. Just to stop them. Of course, it became really effective
Mitsurugi
against
and
Mitsu. It became very effective against
Azamina stacks.
Azamina stack. I did face that. I literally just talked about Radiant Typhoon.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got this on the field by sending this to hand. I rotated this guy 3 turns. They saw nothing. I'm actually surprised it went 3 turns because honestly, if this was in rotation, I would have just scooped right then and there. But they were willing to fight it out. But they drew it. They could do nothing because this was just on rotation. On their turn, I summoned this. I got this in rotation. I dropped it. On my turn, I summoned this. Got this in rotation. I dropped this. I got this in the graveyard. I used the trap card. Put this back. Summoned this again. Got this back into rotation. Dropped it. They did absolutely nothing. It was obnoxious. I felt bad, but you know,
That's how Yu-Gi-Oh is sometimes.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, this is just if I ran into a random Lunalight player. Yeah, I have.
Or Malice.
Yeah, or Malice. I didn't see any Malice, but like, I don't care about Malice in this deck. Luna's my problem, and it's most deck's problem. So I just had to be prepped for it just in case. Like I literally have like 2 dedicated cards in the deck for that deck specifically, and same here as well. So they're just there just.
Did you play any?
I did not play any, but Mason, who went with me, played both. We played that and that machine rock deck, whatever it's called. Yeah, and then of course the last Dracotail trap. I like to swap this in if I know for a fact I'm going first. Don't swap this in going second, and it's definitely like an absolute going first, and you need it. Say for example you're going. Yep. There you go. Yeah, you're going against any deck that relies on normal summon specifically. You just get this out the way. Against White Forest, this came out really big. They got to the regular normal summon, just popped it out the way. Or even when they got into the level 2 that gave them the not branded, just thinking about the other thing. That gave them the Sinful Spoil Monster on used as a synchro material. I just got that off the field before it even got there. So this was really good. This was also really good against White Forest because they do a lot of drawing. My round 1 was against Cool Tunes. So going second, these came in really handy. Round 2 was against White Forest, which was a thing here. Round 3 was against Radiant Typhoon, which I hated to do, but I looped this to hell. It was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Round 4, I went up against the Mirror, and yeah, I summoned that and I won. But the Mirror match, going second, you typically just win that anyway. Round 5, I lost that to another Cool Tunes, which is interesting because that's the person who ended up winning the entire tournament. Round 6, another Mirror. Round 7, went up against Mitsu. Oh, Deontay's decklist. Exact decklist. What was it? What was he playing? Mitsu
Azamina.
Yep, same exact decklist. Same exact card for card. Same decklist. So I ran up against that and I just lost. I couldn't get things in rotation fast enough to stop the bull wipes.
Did you tell that guy you could get him the autograph of the author of the deck?
I did not.
Missed opportunity.
It was a missed opportunity, for sure. And then round 8, went up against Connor Snow of all people, and he was on Yummy Fiendsmith. And yeah, no, it did not stand a chance because I had this in rotation. I had this going. I had these 2 going. There was nothing that could happen there. We went into game 3 because I bricked game 2, but I won game 1. Game 2 was a thing. And then game 3, I ended up winning just because I just had more resources, which is funny to say going against Yummy because that's an endless resource deck. But yeah, I just was able to sequence things better. So yeah. Oh yeah, so full shout out, definitely ENT, definitely Connor for sure. When I was playing against him, I told him how in 2022 he put out a video. Yeah, 2022, that was a while ago. 2022, he put out a video about like calling out your phases. And of course you should be doing that, but I was not doing that. And I watched the video and did that, and my gameplay expanded incredibly. And Connor's just an incredible player, really cool dude. Of course, Mason, Casey, and Deontay, who are my regional travel buddies. We do a lot of events together. We have gotten so far together so far as a group. Underground, it'll be remiss of me not to say that. That it kind of still is. I have a lot of local shops now. But Underground was my major local spot when I first started playing, and they definitely stuck with me. And of course, Game On, Chill Coffee, and Circleville spots. Yeah, I travel a lot to do a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a lot of shops. I know a lot of the owners. Like right now, Tim, the owner of ENT's the one recording this video. Yeah, excuse that blatantly super white hand in your face. No, it's been great. So yeah, definitely all those guys who helped me along the journey. Fun fact: this was my very first event of the season. I actually semi-retired. I had a kid last season, so after that, I just stopped playing up until I decided, hey, let's just go do a regionals and top 8 it. So that was fun.
Hey, one and done. You got your invite and got your regional top
So
8.
I'm about to go back into my hole and wait until Nats.
Congrats, Isaac. We appreciate it.
It was fun.
All right.